Hello and welcome to the Philippines. I'm doing an interview with Javier. He's an American from the USA, and he happens to be Mexican American. And he was here in Cebu City for 2 weeks, and I met him a couple different days, and we did some things together. Anyway, he agreed to do an interview on his last day here, and he's got a lot of interesting insights and thoughts about the Philippines and his experience here. Um, Trying out the new GoPro, I had a couple issues. One was the audio. I'm picking up quite a bit of ambient noise, so I'll have to get a microphone for future interviews. And then had my lens starting to fog up a little bit uh, several minutes into the video, and so you'll get a little bit of that foggy look to it. But anyway, a lot of interesting thoughts. There will be a part 2 of this video as well. So here we go.
I started this journey in 2017 because I knew I was going to retire in 2018, and I have always had an affinity for Asian culture, their discipline, and those things. And I had an event as a childhood that kind of was put there. Now it's just a pup. And so I started off with China, looking into China to see if that would be something that would appeal to me. And I started noticing right off the bat comments about the Philippines, and the Philippines never crossed my mind. So I dug a little deeper and found Japan, and again, same thing. Find little tidbits, little notes about the Philippines, and so I kept digging. Looked into Thailand, found where people were having a little bit of problems with communicating, and again, Philippines kept coming up. I finally thought, okay, I'm going to look into the Philippines, and I looked into Manila. I found Makati, which appealed to me. And then Cebu would start coming up. So I just started digging and finding just little different little tidbits about Cebu and the Philippines. And so I started looking for the common thread, and one of them was how kind the people are here, the price of living, things to do here. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to start digging some more. So I started thinking, searching all my searches around Cebu. I just with all the videos that are out there, and then Rod offers his, and I'm glad I was able to meet him in person. That was a treat. It is a treat. So as I started digging and looking at everything, it started to fall into place for me. So I thought, I'm gonna visit there. So I learned to start taking Tagalog, which a little bit easier for me because I'm fluent in Spanish, and just started digging and just started to make my plans. This was a year. I bought my ticket to come here in January of 2018 because I knew I was going to retire in July. And now I bought my ticket in advance and just thought I have a year to get ready to come here. And I watched videos and educated myself. By no means did I come here thinking that I knew everything. There's a lot to learn. And of course, with the videos, you really can't get. You can't get that kind of experience. You have to come here and really experience. So when I flew in to Mactan and to the new Terminal 2, which was great, they guide you all the way through. I was kind of a little apprehensive, thinking I might get lost, but they have somebody there to guide you through the whole thing, the whole process. Through Rod's video, I knew there was the white taxis and the yellow taxis, which have a tendency of charging you a little bit more. But like Rod said, when you're on a flight 20 hours, a couple extra bucks is not going to make a difference. So I got on the first taxi I could find and got to my hotel, which was Park Lane. And my first impression was the heat, the humidity. I am from California, Central Valley. We don't even have this kind of humidity in the showers. I mean, it was eye-awakening to say the least. Got to my hotel, got checked in, and found out where Ayala Mall is. Part of my planning when I picked this hotel was to see what was surrounding, what was around the area. So I knew Ayala Mall was close, and it was walking distance. I could get there in less than 5 minutes. And crossing the street, they tell you take your life in your hands. It's a challenge. They will stop, but just know that you don't have the pedestrians don't have the right of way. At nighttime is really a challenge because if they don't see you, they can't stop. But during the day, I did some stupid tourist things and got honked at. But not any, I mean, it wasn't a mean honk. It was just like, hey, I'm here, be aware of me kind of thing. And that's what I realized. They don't speed around here because, one, they can't. They just do some things that we're not used to. So I just started to get myself familiarized with the area. I went into Ayala Mall. I needed to take some medication. I couldn't take it on an empty stomach, so I went to McDonald's and saw mixed spaghetti. Things you're not used to in the States, but I got lost in there first night I was in there because it's huge. Just again, I'm not used to this kind of stuff in where I'm from. So I got to bed, had rest, got up the next morning. I reached out to Rod, and I was able to hook up with him, able to meet him, and just started to ask questions. And he was willing to take me around, kind of show me some places, show me some things, and we did. And we spent a few days together. But as I was just going around, what I did is I wanted to immerse myself in this culture. I came here as a reconnaissance. I had some questions. Could I live here? Could I make it here? Could I adapt here? And today's my last day here, and the answer is yes, I can. I have a little bit of an advantage that I'm fluent in Spanish, and even though Tagalog is there's some words in there that I understand, but the common language here is Visaya, Cebuano, real close to Spanish. I don't think I would have any problem adapting here as far as the language. I did take the time to learn some Tagalog, to learn how to introduce myself, to ask what is your name, to ask certain things, where is this, where's that kind of stuff, and I'm glad I did. They appreciate it. You hear a lot about how kind the Filipino people are, and it's true. They're very, very kind, very genuine. You might think at first they're reading to you because it's always hello sir, or hello ma'am, and it almost sounds canned because of their accent, but it's genuine. I think they learned that as a child, and I'll give you an example. I befriended the security guard. His name is RJ. When I first pulled up the first day in a yellow cab, the first thing he asked me was, how much did he charge you? Come to find out, a couple of days before that, some tourists got charged like 800 pesos, which way too much. I happened to pay 400, and he said okay. But anyway, I got to know him. I was able to talk to him more, and he just was guiding me and just doing really nice things for me, which he didn't have to do. So I wanted to do something nice for him, and I took him and his wife out to dinner, and I met this little boy named Finch. Finch is a year and a half old, and I asked RJ, who's this little one? The first thing he did was he had his hand, which is a Filipino way of respect, and he put it to my forehead. And he's just a year and a half. I don't think he understood that. So their kindness, their respect, I think is taught at a young age, and it's genuine. And one of the things that broke my heart around here is when I would see foreigners just blow off their kindness, and they would say good morning and open doors for you, do all kinds of neat things, and just foreigners would walk by them. And if you plan on coming, be kind to these people. They are genuine, they're sweet, they're loving, and you may not don't know the language, you may not know Magandang umaga, which is good morning, but a smile is free. To validate somebody with a smile doesn't cost anything, and I would encourage you, if you're on your way or thinking about coming, don't forget that these people are in their heart just really kind people. Having said that, have I encountered some not so kind people? Yes, they're here. I think any part of the world you're going to go, you're going to find those, and I did encounter them. But for everyone that I did find, there was probably 20-25 that made up for them with their kindness and their willingness to help and direct. I spent the first couple of days just walking around. I kind of did things a little different. I actually bought a cell phone here, so I had my own Filipino number. I was, I thought that was kind of cool. As you can tell, the kids here are animated, and that's just kind of the way the Philippines are here. Anyway, I had my own phone, so I had maps. I had some different apps, and I was able to communicate, which came in handy, and I'll explain that in a bit. But so I would walk around all over the place. I just found a street and I went, and I used GPS to kind of guide me along. And there was a couple of times I was out at 10:30 at night, and I had no problem. Part of that was because some of the Filipinos around here thought I was Filipino, Pinoy to be exact, which kind of a double-edged sword. It can help you and it can somewhat hinder you. Kind of give you some examples of that. But I spent the first couple of days just walking around, just kind of looking here, looking there, and I felt comfortable. I felt safe. There was only one time that I got myself in a situation where I felt I needed to hightail it out of there, because even though I may look like a Filipino, there was parts of me that you could tell I wasn't. One is shoes. Filipinos wear what they call slippers, which we call flip-flops. I had some, at that day, I had some like leather, they look leather, probably not, but I noticed these guys were just looking at me up and down, and the first thing they look at were my shoes, and it was like, this ain't Kansas, Toto. So I kind of hightailed it out of there, kind of cool, kind of quickly. But that was the only time, and that was my fault, and nobody touched me, nobody did anything. I did make some, I did some things before I came here to get myself ready. One of them was I on the internet, on some of the websites that you can shop. This is a waistband. I don't know if you can see it all. But it's a running waistband, and it has pockets. And I have it on right now. I bought several of these. One has a zipper on it. Rod has shared with me how his phone and a wallet, I believe. So I took some precautions for that, and I bought this. And I always keep money in one of them, extra money. I was carrying my passport for a while, and I just carried a copy of it. But this has 4 pockets, and my credit card I would keep it here, and this goes inside, obviously, and my pants with my shorts go on top of it. So I did do some precautionary things that I think gave me some peace and comfort in knowing that I could walk around, and I wasn't sure what would happen, but if anything did happen, I was hoping that would be something that would be a backup for me. So I got, like I said, I bought a phone, got to walk around. I wasn't afraid. I never felt threatened. Nothing happened to me here. It was always all nice, but I wanted to explore more of that. And I've been to Mexico several times. And what I would do in Mexico is I would find a cab driver who I liked his personality. I could talk with him. And again, I'm fluent in Spanish. And if I liked him, I say, hey, I want to hire you for the week. Well, there's a temple here called the Temple of Leah that I wanted to go see, and Rod had told me it'd be about 300 pesos would be a decent, good price to go up there from where I was staying. So I found a group of hobble drivers, with the motorcycle guys, and if you come to the Philippines, you got to do it at least once. I was kind of a fraidy cat, but I'm glad I got over that. Anyway, I saw about 4 or 5 guys standing there. And I went and told them what I wanted, and how much, of course, they wanted to charge me, $450, and how long am I going to stay there. And I said, I'm going to pay 300, and that's it. One guy stood out against the advice of his friends, because once he accepted, they started hitting him on the shoulder, kind of saying, like, what are you doing? They were kind of surprised that he jumped on it. So, but I like that because he didn't buckle to peer pressure. Long story short, his name is Jake, young kid. Took me to the Temple of Leah, and he said, sir, I will wait for you. And I go, no, where I go, you go. What I eat, you eat. What I drink, you drink. And I made him my Baiikinko. I can't pronounce it. I made him my friend, and I got his number. And after that, he took me from the Temple of Leah up to a garden, a place called the Tops. and I got to see some more places, and he wasn't going to charge me anymore, but I gave him a little extra. And I got his phone number, so I would call him, and he took me to parts of Cebu that I probably wouldn't have seen any other way. And he was my friend, a young kid, really neat kid, neat story, lives in poverty. And I asked him what he makes on a good day. I asked him what he makes on a bad day, what an average day is. I told him I didn't want to steal from him, and yeah, it's a good way to see Cebu. It's a good way to around here because they have your best interest. I was doing tourist things. I had my phone on a selfie stick, and I was taking some videos out on the street. And he goes, "Sir, don't stick your phone out there. So if they come by and grab it, I can't help you." So it was fun. I felt safe. He was helping me. I was helping him. So I got to see a lot of Cebu. He had explained to him what take the long way there meant, because he didn't understand that. But once he did, I went to Cologne Street. I walked up and down. I didn't have any problems. Didn't make it to Carbon Market, but I did go to Cologne. I saw Jesuit. I saw Yad, which is I wish I remember the name, but it's the oldest building here. And he was with me. Everywhere I went, he would go with me. So that was a neat way to experience Cebu in a way that I don't think normally I would have been able to. Would I recommend that? I would. I think it's a good way to do it. I happen to get a hobble driver. You can get a taxi. A lot of people here speak good English enough to where you can communicate with them, communicate what you want, where you want to go, what you want to do, and they understand. And there's some things you might have to clarify with them. But that was a good way for me to do it. One of the questions that Rod had asked me is how was it for me being Mexican American and coming here? Both my parents are born and raised in Mexico. I was born and raised in California, like I said, in the Central Valley. And like I said, they thought I was Filipino, and they would get a kick out of that. One guy told me, he says, RJ, the security guard, he goes, "Javier, don't speak, you'll be okay." And I was like, great, my ex-wife is here. So I had that kind of an advantage in some sense. The downside to that, sometimes I would go somewhere and they don't wait on. I would walk into a coffee shop, Jake and I, to start our day, make a plan where we were going to go, and they just kind of look at it, just kind of look, glance, and they don't say much until I start speaking English, and all of a sudden that changes. Rod and I had gone messing around downtown, and he introduced me to one of his friends, a guy named Tom, and do you have, I guess for the lack of words, street vendors that want to sell you Valium, Cialis, and some other stuff? And it happened about 5-6 times where they want to take you here, drag you there, sell you this. And every time, with no exception, not one did nobody approached me. It was always him or Rod or Tom. They didn't approach me then, and I don't know what that was about. I'm assuming because I look Pinoy or something. I don't know. So that kind of, like I said, double-edged sword. Kind of good. They kind of leave you alone, but sometimes you kind of want some attention. You need something. I don't know. It was kind of a double-edged thing. Some of the girls here that I wanted to talk to, very easy to talk to the gals here. I'll strike a conversation. But dark skin is not something they how can I put this delicately? They're thinking, the young girls are thinking for their future, and they want their kids to be, I guess, light skinned. It's a plus. And not that I was here to hit up or take girls. I was here for 2 weeks, and then this was about something else.
So that is part one. Javier, especially being Mexican American, had some unique experiences here and shared those. There will be a part two here shortly, probably tomorrow. And don't have the issues with the fogging lens on the next video. Anyway, each of us who comes and anywhere visits has a different experiences and views those experiences differently, and that he had some unique experiences and thoughts on those experiences. So hopefully it gives you another perspective on that. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, please share the video. Please subscribe. Safe travels to you all wherever you're at, and we'll see you next time.